We're here with Brian Jones of Playmakers, and Playmakers is an institution in Lansing and East Lansing. You really own this town. There are so many people wearing red Playmaker jerseys that it's just a really colorful sight at the race today. Tell us a little bit about how you got started with the Team Playmakers.
Sure. You know, about 5 years ago, we started our first training program, and it originally was orange. We worked on Kurt and said, Kurt, we need something more visible. Matter of fact, the original colors, we had black and white jerseys, and eventually we evolved to the red, and we're now Team Playmakers, and some of our marketing is even run red, walk red. And it's really, really grown over the last 4 years as the store has moved out of the mall into our freestanding location, which is on Grand River Avenue. And we've got some great coaches. Ann Crane, that a lot of people know from the running community, a longtime runner, heads up our training programs. In addition to that, Karen Smith and Mary Pat Sullivan assist Ann Crane. And we probably have 500 people enrolled in Team Playmakers right now, gearing for different events. And it's just given our community an opportunity to accomplish things that it's sometimes difficult to accomplish on your own. And with the support of our coaches and the support of the store, it's really, really blossomed, and we're just real proud of Team Playmakers and are excited for it to continue to grow. Our next big event will be at Detroit, and we'll have approximately 200 members of Team Playmakers at the Detroit Free Press Marathon, half marathon, and relays.
Wow, that's amazing. In fact, we've been on airplanes and seen Team Playmaker jerseys with people on the way to marathons here and there, so you're really getting around with those.
Well, thanks. You know, it wasn't intentional, but the branding of Team Playmakers is definitely happening, and we're hearing stories like that all the time when people are on vacation and they're wearing their red shirts. And that's one thing that Ann Crane has really preached to the group, the importance of wearing those red shirts. And it's really paid off in terms of the visibility, and people will bump into people throughout the country and they'll say, oh, you must be from Lansing. I'm familiar with Playmakers.
Well, there was also, speaking of visibility, a huge change when you moved the store. Not only did you have more space, but it's easier to find. Can you talk a little bit about how that made a change in the Playmakers business?
Yeah, I sure can. You know, in the mall, at points we thought we were great merchants because everything we put out would sell, and now we realize that was a function of traffic. So we had to reinvent ourselves, and we looked at our business and looked at what had made us successful, and it had really been the community. And, you know, the core of our business is running and walking and promoting fitness. So Kurt really dug in, and there's not an event that makes a request that we don't try to support in some capacity. And given the size of the store, we're over 15,000 square feet, and we have a mezzanine level of approximately 4,000 square feet with a lot of space to be used for meetings, a conference room that local races will use. And so we've really become the center or the hub of the running community in the Lansing area, and not just in the sense of being at events, but also allowing races to utilize our facilities to help promote their events and plan their events.
Well, one of the ways you support a lot of the races in the area is through the Playmakers Race Series. Can you talk a little bit about some of those races? I know the Capital City River Run is one of them. People accumulate points and have a chance to win that series, don't they?
They sure do, not unlike the Michigan Runner Race Series that you put on, Jenny. And we started it 5 years ago, and it was a group of local runners that approached us about doing this. And at first we hemmed and hawed, and then we looked at it and said, well, let's do this. And at the time they had mentioned, well, if you guys aren't interested in doing it, maybe we'll go to someone else. And we said, well, we'll gladly do this. And we also had the support of the Lansing State Journal through one of their employees, Dick Hoekstra, who helped to publicize the race series and really helped to bring attention to the race series. But we looked at it initially and said, well, what are the 10 largest or 10 most important events in our community? And this being the 5th year, we've had between 10 and 12 runs each year as part of the race series. And again, it's not just the points, and it's not the competitive side to it, but Great Harvest Bread Company has come on as a sponsor, and they do a participation award if you do. This year there's 12 events. If you participate in 10 of the 12 events, and again, time doesn't matter, you just have to start and finish, you receive a card that's good for a free loaf of bread every month for 12 months. And that's something that's really coveted, and a lot of people really schedule their year around the race series events so that they can achieve that. And in addition to that, we do, if you compete in 6 of the 12 events, you get a t-shirt. So it's not just focused on the lead pack, but it's really focused on getting people active and having fun. And the real byproduct or the fun part of the race series has been, again, building that sense of community. And now when people go to races, they know people and they're more familiar with these faces because we're all showing up at the same events and paying attention to how each other are competing, and people are cheering each other and supporting each other. And there's even a group from Jackson that participated last year, and that group's expanded because they had a lot of fun and have enjoyed our races.
Well, it's interesting. I do see that sense of community. A lot of people are greeting each other as old friends, even though it was just last week.
That's right. You know, it really is fun, and not only does our training program have group runs, but there's groups of individuals that go off throughout the week and participate in, you know, their own activities and own their own runs on a smaller size from different parks. And this is one of the parks where there's a group that'll meet here on Thursdays, another group that meets here on Sundays, and groups that are traveling across the country right now too, doing different events outside the state of Michigan, and all proud to wear their red jerseys as part of Team Playmakers.
Now, in addition to this race, you put on a couple of other races too, including a high school event?
Well, we've been fortunate to partner with some great events, and that's one thing that Kurt Munson, our owner, has always been real visionary in that he'll see an event that's a great event, and he recognizes that on the organizational side, they do an excellent job, but sometimes just making the event a little more exciting and fun and adding the music and the balloons and the color to it. So we'll do that in some of the awards. We were at the Spartan Invitational Friday, and they had close to 3,500 runners, up from 2,400 as their previous high mark, and that's one event that we've partnered with. And then the Greater Lansing Cross Country Championship is another event that we've partnered with for the last 15 years, as well as the Honor Roll Track and Field Meet that honor all of our top local runners.
So it looks like you're going to be seeing a lot of future runners, road racers, coming into the store because they've met you through these other events.
Absolutely, and we've been real pleased to see success from our local cross-country and track programs. Williamston won a Division III state championship last year on the boys' side. Potterville was one of the top teams in the state last year as well. And then the Okemos girls were second, which was in Division I cross-country, which was the highest finish by a Division I female team, girls team in the area in some time.
That's always exciting when that kind of thing happens. One of the things we've noticed, your store carries a wide range of products, including some that are hard to find others, and we really like Chaco sandals. What are some of the other things that you've found that are popular, not only with runners, but with other folks too?
Well, it's interesting. For years, it was the Birkenstock, and we preached Birkenstock. And again, our owner, Kurt's real passionate about product. And when he finds something he likes, he really wants to share that. And he's unique, and it's not from a bottom line standpoint. It's really, truly from his heart. When he finds a great product, he wants people to experience that great product as well. But the Birkenstock has been one over the years. Chaco has been great. The Keen sandals is a product that have really blown up in the last few years, in a successful side. And then wool as a base layer is a product that we've been experimenting with. Matter of fact, I've got a wool t-shirt on right now. And
that's wool? It sure doesn't look like it.
No, it doesn't, and it's not our parents' wool or the wool we grew up in. And the beauty of wool is that when it's wet, it still has thermal properties. As runners, you finish a race, and a lot of times you get chilled afterwards. If you put the wool on, you can be wet, and it'll still allow your body to maintain its core body temperature.
I'm ready to go shopping.
Well, you know where we're at. We open at noon today.
Well, Brian, thanks for talking with us, and we'll be seeing you either at Playmakers, and the address is?
2299 West Grand River Avenue, Okemos, Michigan.
Or at playmakers.com.